I'm going to talk a little bit about us and something far removed from endurance sports. I want to tell you a little bit of a story in part one. You see, we recently completed another one of our 1 day workshops, and these workshops are specifically designed for organizations, leadership teams, or broader teams that they bring us in for. And they are highly experiential. These workshops help lay the groundwork for each participant in them, typically around 10 to 12 participants, and the whole team to feel better and to deliver a pathway to move towards the progression of sustained high performance. Now, far from these workshops being athletic conversion therapy or anything like that, they're actually designed to help normal executives and business professionals move along the continuum towards optimization of performance. Most of the folks we work with are pretty high performing already, but as they said in Top Gun, we want to go from best to better still. And that's really the focus. Well, each one of these experiences are really, really special and different. And the one that we recently finished was working with a team with a private equity organization. And as we finished it, we went to dinner after the end of the long day, and we thought, that was successful. It felt like a great success. The feedback in the day was wonderful. People enjoyed it. They left energized. They left with a vision, a pathway, with clarity. By all accounts, we could just go to dinner, have a beer, celebrate, and say that was a success. We could all go home happy, yeah? Yeah, we could. That's true. But that's not the end of the story. We don't just move on with that. You see, after an event like this, a whole day, with several members of the Purple Patch team engaged with the planning, the execution, all the way through to the end of it, we ensure that a couple of days after the event, we have an important 2-hour team meeting with every Purple Patch team member that was engaged in the program. And over the course of that meeting, we dissect the day. What was the lead up to the workshop like, including the materials we sent, the communication, the timelines, and more. We then go into the day of the workshop itself, and then we talk about our follow up and the results that we got out of it. And every member of the Purple Patch team asked themselves the same questions focused around these three areas: the lead up, the day itself, and the follow up. What did we execute really well? Where do we feel like there was great value in the programming on the materials? And then where did we fall out short? What do we not execute to the best of our ability? We then define for ourselves first, what actions should we take to improve the product and experience? It's a great time for reflection. And we do this individually. After making our notes that we make, we then have that 2-hour meeting. It's a round table. Everyone has a go. And it isn't always that comfortable for me, to be honest, because I'm the prime presenter at these workshops. And the expectation is if there's an ounce of improvement possible, it needs to be called out. We want to identify the holes, the gaps, the weak presentation, the better ways to deliver the information, how well the stories sat with the audience, whether the activities and the format was ideal. And we go through and we compare our internal thoughts with the feedback and the results that we get that we've received from the participants in their post-event questionnaire. Now, pretty often, as was the case in this one, our instincts actually match the feedback that we get. Although we tend to be tougher on ourselves as hosts, and that's really typical. But the key part is that this is a great example of a process of reflection. The most important part of this is not just looking back, it's yet to come. Because with all of that information, where we've all dumped, this is what we did well, this is where we struggled or we could improve, is what's next. What do we do with all that information? So as a team, we go through the process to start to chart a pathway forward. What should we do to focus on improving the materials, the timeline, the communication, the product, the deliverable, and any other aspect of the experience? And I think this process has been incredibly helpful for us because while our leadership program has been almost 2 years in development, emerging from 20 years of groundwork in coaching world class athletes and executives. This is the first year of the formal programming of this product for Purple Patch. And I believe that the reason that this program has been met with such positivity so far isn't just down to the fact that the programming fits into a pretty unique space that actually drives better daily performance and better outcomes for teams and organizations, but is also in the fact that we've really quickly accelerated our learning. What truly works, what is effective, and how the product actually syncs with the needs of a wide range of the variety of teams that we tend to work with. In other words, the fuel of our very quick development and improvement of the product has been reflection. So, why do I tell you this story? Well, it's because this is what you need to do as an athlete before you start committing to next year. Don't just go and sign up for a bunch of races and start chasing your 2025 goals. I really recommend that the first action you do is pause, come out of the weeds, get to the top of the T and reflect. Look back so that you can channel your energy and your actions into components that are going to drive and fuel your long-term success.